So today we've got the vet coming out, and I just wanted to give everyone a little bit of an update. Daisy update, she still hates us. We had a whole bunch of things that we need to do today, so we're going to get the Foal Alert put in Fit Pippi, and we're going to ultrasound a bunch of mares. We want to preg check Holly. Today will be her 14-day mark post breeding. We want to check Key because we're pretty sure she had a silent heat, so see if she's got a CL in there and make a plan on when we're going to try to breed her again. We want to check Prairie as she'll be coming up to her full heat and make sure that her uterus has cleaned out nicely and see where she's at for ordering semen for her. And we also wanted to check a client's mare and see if she's going to get the ball rolling yet and start ovulating. And then we are going to check Jazz and just see where she's at in her cycle because we also want to breed her to trip. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm wearing these cool shades because I had eye surgery the other day, so I have a nice big red spot and I'm trying to keep my eyes protected, but everything's going good. I feel great. Just got to be careful with the eyeballs for a little bit, make sure I don't get any dust or dirt in them, that I don't get them irritated by the wind, and that I stay away from horses to an extent so that I don't get clocked in the head and cause any issues with the surgery. So yeah, we are going to go through, check everyone, and we'll let you know what we find. To start our day off, we've got Pippi to get her Foal Alert installed. She is due in 15 days. She is a maiden mare, so this is her first foal. So we give them a little bit of sedation just because it's their first time and it's a new experience for them. And when they're nice and sleepy, the vet gets to work getting them cleaned up. We want to make sure that the area is as clean as possible. It will never be sterile because it is the hind end of a horse, but we get it as clean as we possibly can. And once we're good and sleepy, we start putting the Foal Alert in. So again, just 3 quick little sutures that the mares don't even notice. Next up was Holly, so we were doing a preg check on her. So it's 14 days since we bred her to trip last. So we do a little check to make sure we've got someone home. Ultrasounds in horses are done rectally. So here our vet is scanning her uterus for any signs of an embryo.
How many do you want?
How many?
One.
Did she twin ovulate?
No, I think there's one. It's small, like maybe it wasn't a 14 but 13, but there's something there.
Yeah, I'd believe that because we bred her the nighttime that day.
Yeah. And she was a full heat cover, so she doesn't tend to have a long full window, like standing window.
There's definitely something there today.
Well, that's awesome. Good job, Holly. Good job, Trip. His first baby.
So this will get rechecked.
So we'll recheck Holly in a few weeks to make sure we got a good strong heartbeat. Next up was Key to see if she was cycling. She unfortunately did have a CL, which means she had a silent heat on us.
So no edema today. There is 19 and 21 on the right. Hopefully we can see how we left.
So there's a 19 and a 21 millimeter follicle on the right, and he's going to check and see if there's an old CL on the left, which means she did ovulate.
Yeah, there is a CL on the left and a couple of like mid-teens follicles there. So she has cycled.
So she snuck a heat past us, very, very tricksy. So that means we get to try again in another week or two. Next up was Prairie. So we're just checking her after foaling to make sure that there's no fluid retained in the uterus, which she did have. So the plan will be to flush her tomorrow or the next day just to clean out her uterus. This is very common post-foaling, and we just want to make sure that we give her uterus basically a nice clean out to make it a good hospitable place for an embryo if we're going to look at ordering semen. Little baby Maple here was assisting the vet with his exam. we'll see about getting a video of getting her flushed out, but basically there's nothing too exciting going on with her follicles right now, which is just fine. She shouldn't be coming into heat until a little bit later, so probably like Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So hopefully we can look at ordering semen early in the week. But otherwise, Prairie is looking pretty good after foaling, and we got the okay from our vet to breed her once we get her flushed out, give her some oxytocin. Then we checked Jazz. We teased her a couple times last week or earlier this week, I guess. No real interest. She had a nice 45 millimeter follicle, so we were gonna bring her over to Trip and see if she was interested.
There is.
Stand.
45 on her left side today. She doesn't have a transplant on female. I think I would definitely tease her, but she may be
Coming out.
coming out, yeah.
All right. You get to have a walkover later. So for summary, Pippi's Foal Alert is now in, so that gives us a little bit of peace of mind. She'll probably spend a little bit more time outside now that she's back to being boring again. We ultrasounded Holly, and she is pregnant with about a 13-day embryo, so congratulations, Trip, it's your first baby. We will recheck her again in a few weeks to make sure we've got a good strong heartbeat. We ultrasounded Key, and she did have a silent heat, so that's a bit frustrating because we were hoping to breed her sooner rather than later. So the plan is to give her a shot of estromate on Monday and hopefully tease her Thursday, Friday next week. We checked Prairie, and she's got some fluid that we need to clean out of her uterus to make it a good hospital place for a future embryo. So we're going to look at flushing her either Saturday or Sunday, so tomorrow or the next day, and get that nice and cleaned out so that we can maybe look at ordering semen either Monday or Wednesday and see where we're at there. With semen shipping, it can be a little tricky because you gotta order it ahead of time. It doesn't get here right away. There's usually always a little bit of a delay with the planes, unfortunately. So we want to try to plan ahead for when she might ovulate and have it here and ready for that. We also checked a client's mare to see if she's cycling yet, and she is still stalled, so nothing's happening. So she's still in transition. She has not had a proper heat yet this season, so we will continue to keep an eye on her and check her in 10 days. And then we checked Jazz, and it looked like promising that she might have a good sized follicle that she's building on there. Not a lot of edema, but she did have a 45 millimeter follicle. So we brought her over to tease with Trip, and she seemed interested, but not quite into him yet. So no breeding there. Yeah, so that's where we're at. And that was kind of our Friday morning vet visit. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Thanks.